Good morning everyone and welcome to Tutorial Tuesday. I thought today I would do the KSCRAFT large slimline envelope and do it as a shaker envelope. So this is the die that I'm going to be using. That's the front of the envelope, this is the back of the envelope, and this is the flap of the envelope. It does have a decorative element here. Now, one of the things that I've discovered is that you can't get all of this out of a 12 by 12 sheet. So I've decided I'm going to do the body of the envelope, which is the back and the front, in thicker cardstock, and then do the flap in a pattern cardstock. You can see it's a really easy die to put together, because once you've cut these, you just glue with your tape or your liquid glue your flap onto there, and then these fold in, and then your flap glues onto that back section there, and the whole thing closes in. Really simple, but I am going to show you how to do that. Now with this envelope you also get a die which will cut stamp shapes for you, so that if you've got any images that you want to add or a little photograph or something, then you can use that and do that. And you also get two wax seal type dies. One is love and one is heart. So I'm probably going to use these to create a seal for the front of this envelope. Now, as I said, you can't get all of that out of a 12 by 12. So reaching across my desk, this is what I'm going to be using. I've got some thick pink glitter cardstock. I hope you can see that. That just changed the colour shift on my camera, didn't it? But it's a lovely happy pink. There you go. And it's firmer than regular cardstock. This is from Joanne. I think this was 19 cents for a sheet. So that's going to be the front and back of the envelope. And then for the flap of the envelope, excuse my phone, I'm going to be using this patterns paper, because it's going to be a sort of birthday envelope for a slimline die, and we're going to use a sheet of acetate which I will cut the back section with, but I will show you that. We're going to use my lovely new sequins that I got from Aliexpress that I showed you yesterday, and these are going to be used to fill up the pouch. And we're also going to be using some cake dessert type stickers from Dollar Tree, and they were $1 for this pack, and I think all of those colours go together really nicely. So I'm going to pop off, die cut all this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've done that and I've cut, let's see if I can get them in order. I've cut one of the backs in acetate. That looks cloudy because it's got like two peel off covers on it that protect it from getting all scratched and, you know, fingerprinted up. And it is a bit fiddly actually, but you can just scrape it with your nail, and then I'll show you in a minute, the back and the front rip off to leave a crystal clear piece of acetate. So that's the back section that's going to be a shaker. And then this is the back section of the envelope, and of course this will be folded over and stuck onto there so that everything can go on underneath it. I don't know if I said before, but I did do a video of a card showing you how to do an easy shaker, and this is the same technique, so I will link that video below again for you as well. It's one of my favourite videos because it's one of my favourite dies. It's a carousel horse. Right, so I've been digressing. So I've done my acetate back panel and I've done my envelope back panel, which of course is going to go that way, making this the inside of the envelope. And then this is the front of the envelope, which is nicely embossed to look as if it's a cut and folded envelope, and that will sit there. See these pieces along here that have got the dashed edge, these will need to be folded over, except for in the case of the flap, because this is the flap cut in that pretty paper, and that will glue there, and then the whole thing will fold over to give you an envelope. So what I'm going to do now is put my adhesive tape everywhere that it needs to be, and I'll come straight back. I've actually dropped my camera slightly because I thought it was looking a bit hazy on the screen, and I've applied my glue tape all the way around, including this one, but that one stays out of the way because that one is going to take the flap, and then just go over it with your bone folder tool. Yep, I'm using one today and not my finger, and just smooth that out so that you've got your envelope like that in front of you. We are now excuse my itchy throat, going to peel off the adhesive tape. And of course, you know, for me, in the camera in front of my face, this is where it starts becoming loads of fun. And if you stick around long enough, we have a disaster. And you want the front of the envelope now to go down onto those areas. So we've already scored them, so we know that they're going to bend nicely. I'm going to try and move it back into picture for you. Make sure that it's square. That's the fiddly bit. And then just stick it down. I'm going to use my folder tool again. How's that? I'm well behaved today. And that, of course, is going to now fold up to the glued areas here where we've already peeled the back off. As I said, I am trying to keep it in camera shot, and I'm just going to use my finger to hold that bit down while I bring this across, and hopefully that has got it. So now we've got our envelope. I hope that's showing clear. Isn't it weird how when the light moves it changes shade, and that's the right colour. It's a nice happy pink. When you go up here, look at that, pale baby pink. Weird stuff, my camera. Right, so I'm going to go over that with my tool again just to make sure that those edges are bonded, and they are. And now we need to put the flap on the envelope, which needs to go along this piece here. So turning it over, I'm going to peel that piece of tape off, and once again line it up nice and straight. Now I'm going to start there, and I hope that you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to be as accurate as possible. And I'm going just in front of that serrated edge. I'll do you a close-up of that so that it will fold over neatly. See, you've got just the bit there. Maybe when, no, I didn't. I did it all right. But it's so that it will fold nicely on that joint. So do it just before that serrated piece. And now we've got an envelope. How super quick and easy is that? That's awesome, isn't it? I don't know if you can see the actual embossed decorative bit. Yeah, you can. So if you're using a plain cardstock, that's really going to show up for you. But what a lovely, easy envelope to do. Well, you can make loads of these. If you made it completely in clear acetate, you could use it as storage pocket for your Slimline dies, because your cards fit in there. That means your dies will fit in there. Oh, I really like that. So before I get carried away, I'm going to flip my envelope over, because the next thing I'm going to need to do is to pop this on, and this will be folded in and cover the entire back panel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel off the coating from this, apply the adhesive tape to it, and then I'll be back so that we can decorate all of this before putting this on top. Actually, before I do that, I've just peeled off this side of my acetate, and it's coated on both sides. I've used my fingernail to drag this bit up, and you just peel it off. Can you see? Now I have a sheet of acetate minus my greasy fingerprints. So now I'm going to stick it with glue, and I will be back. Okay, so I've done my sheet of acetate and I've put my adhesive on. I'll try and do a close-up here so that you can see I folded the edge over on that serrated edge, which is there. Don't know if you'll be able to see that. And just completely folded it over so that it's a flap all the way around. And as I said before, it's just the back of this envelope cut out of acetate, and that will go down like that directly onto the back. And I like to do things this way because not everyone's got a sewing machine. I have, or not everyone's competent in doing a straight line or having the equipment needed to sew through paper. So you can burnish the edge to get it as flat as you want to. And I will say that the ideal tape for doing things like this is red line tape. If you don't know what that is, I'll just grab a roll. Hang on a second. Right, now this is red line tape. Now, as you can see, it's too thick for my project and I've got several rolls at this thickness, so I need to go out and get some skinny stuff. But this is from Aliexpress, and their red line tape is exactly the same as anybody else's red line tape because that's where red line tape is made. It's made in China, except of course in China it's a lot cheaper. So this is from Aliexpress. Now, the nice thing about this is if I peel it back, you can see once the red line of tape comes off the backing of it, it's crystal clear and the bond is incredibly strong. You can put metal embellishments and things down on cardstock using this. It's just really good quality tape. So as I say, I didn't have the correct thickness, so I'm just using regular tape, which I don't know if that shows it. Maybe when I pull the white backer off, you'll see it. It does have a slight creamy yellow tinge. Now, if you're going to put a piece of cardstock in there as a panel, obviously these bits are going to be hidden and it doesn't really matter what glue you use. So anyway, that is the panel. We can see that it's roughly, I don't know, a little bit over 1/4 of an inch all the way around. So now I know, grabbing them, where I can sort of like dot my stickers around without them interfering in that window. Now, the ones that I want to use are the cupcake, the macaron, and the dessert in the glass. So I'm just going to take my piece of acetate out of the way for a bit, and now I've got my little bit there, my back of the envelope, and opening up my stickers so I can have a good look inside. I'm going to choose some of these, and I think I'm going to use the candy one on the seal for the envelope. I think that will look quite nice. But these are absolutely fantastic, these stickers that you get from Dollar Tree. Of course they're $1, but they have loads of adhesive on the back, and this one is dimensional. So I want to put it down straight and be aware of the fact that I've got a border that I don't want to interfere with, and I'm hoping that's on straight. So there is my lovely big cupcake. See how easy this is. And then I'm going to go for my dessert glass up at the other end. Try and take it off without tearing it. I'm going to go for that one and pop that one there. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you could still do this and put the person's address in there, and you could send them a shaker envelope through the post, and that would be a really cool thing to receive on your birthday. And pop your stamps on the outside. Use a bit of double-sided tape to help hold the stamps down even firmer on the acetate so they can't be peeled off. And you can, you know, create a space there where it's not interfering with all the stuff that you've popped there, and then your stamps wouldn't be in the way. So I've got that, and then I want to use my macaron, Macaroon and macarons are totally different. Did you know that? Right, that goes there. So that looks all sort of happy and candy. And here's something that I told you that I always do. I always make errors on camera. Watch. See? All upside down. So now I'm going to go peel them off and put them the right way around. Okay, so error corrected. These do peel up quite easily, I will tell you that. They only took a few seconds to peel them off and stick them straight back down. And of course, there's the flap. And it's the right way around. Maybe you can learn from my mistake there. And if you're going to decorate the back and do a shaker back, leave the flap up so that you know you've got your envelope the right way around. Okay, so the next thing to do is to pop my flap back down because I'm going to put the acetate window on. But I'm going to be using some sequins and I'm just going to pop those in the centre out of the way so that they don't interfere with the acetate window going down. Now, of course, it's always great fun trying to get into one of these Ziploc pouches, and do expect sequins to have some static to them. They usually do. Now, I don't really want to overdo it, so I'm just going to put a few there, and it's just great that all of those colours complement those chunky stickers. Aren't they nice? I like them. They call them solid colour sequins. Right, next thing to do is going to be to put this down. So I'm going to peel off the bottom section first and line that up, and then go in to peel off the other three sections. So I'm going here. I know some people will partial peel, but I can tell you I'm absolute rubbish at doing that, and I end up making a mangled mess. Now, can you see that glue there? It's just creased itself along there. And you can also now see the colour of the tape on the acetate, which is why I was saying you do not get that with red line tape. Right, this is being lined up directly on that edge, and I'm sticking it down. Just run my finger along it. I can use a bone folder afterwards. Now, I can now go into the top to do this one. Pop that down. Now, I think I'm going to partial peel this one because it's fairly straight and it no longer matters. Sorry if I'm shouting into the mic there, because I am standing up, and I'm going to peel the whole length of this one away, pop it back in there and press that down. I want it to be slightly buckled towards me. It will puff out slightly, your acetate, which is what gives it that space for anything that you pop in there to move around. And now down with that one. Just throw a few things around on my table. Bone tool just around to make sure it's made some good contacts. You don't have to press too hard, just enough to prime the glue. And here we've got, whoops, and sit down. My dog's decided to sit behind me. And you've got just enough bits and bobs in there to make someone happy. And there's the front of your envelope. Now you can, of course, if you want to, cut the flap in acetate, but then you've got to be able to manually score it all the way around, or you could just do a panel or something like that. But isn't that awesome? Really, really easy. And what an impact that makes with a birthday card inside. I really love that. I hope you can see it okay. But yeah, get to Dollar Tree, get yourself some of their fabulous 3D stickers. They have some awesome sort of like foodie cakey designs and some really cute robots and stuff like that. But for making yourself a very simple shaker back there to your envelope. And of course, if you don't want to see your tape and you've got no red line tape, then pop yourself an extra card panel inside, and it will overlap this section when you've stuck it down. So that's what I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed that. I'm actually going to turn it over and I'm going to pop my other Dollar Tree Sweetie sticker on so that you can see what I mean here. So I'm going to pop that right there as the seal on my envelope. And what a great bit of fun. I love that. Right, who knows what I'm going to be up with tomorrow, but it's going to be fun. Probably MXR actually. I'm in the mood for a bit of cuteness. So you have a fabulous day. As usual, all links below. Bye.